we bought a kettle, an electric one, so that we don't have to constantly go in between the kitchen and where we film. So, box 1 is done and gone, and this is our Cusimax Temp Select Drip Kettle. It has a gooseneck. Okay, life is different now. Don't forget to claim your free gift. Ooh, there's a gift involved here. Interessant, really. Okay, so here's our gift and extended warranty from Cusimax. Oh, we can get either a stainless steel measuring spoon, a kitchen scale, a reed meat thermometer, or a knife sharpener. Wow. What is this? Okay, so this is just something that looks like a strange egg carton. But inside of that, we have the main kettle here. So we'll look at that first. Unbagging it. Oh, it's a nice size. Looks like it'll be quite easy to handle. It has a max and min fill line, which that'll be useful. The tip doesn't feel too sharp, so that's helpful. Now here is the top. Okay, so we have these 3 little holes to help with the fact that steam won't escape as easily. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit hard to continually pull on and off. Is there like some sort of mechanism to this? Or I think it just kind of pops on. So that looks real nice. However, my fingerprints are already all over this. So I'm going to have to be a little bit careful with this. And then here is the thingy. So we've got warming, green tea, coffee, black tea, herbal tea, and boiling. Cable. So here, oh, lovely. Okay, so that is not a very long cord. Is this just, okay, so it kind of goes on like this. It can be rotated 360, all right. That is nice. Very nice. This is the Honey Puerh. It smells really good, like earthy and such. Okay, so it says that I need to heat cold water to a boil once, cool it, and then refill, and then cool it again, and then boil it again, and then cool it again before I actually get to do any steeping. I did all of that washing out. I did it about 3 times so that it would be clean, because it kind of stunk, like plastic and stuff. So, you know. So I'm just gonna stick it onto this, and I've plugged it up, and I read the instruction manual, and the way that you keep it heated is you press the Fahrenheit button, and you can't keep it completely heated at boiling, but you can keep it heated at 203. So once I finish it boiling, I will put it down to 203 when I put it back. So for right now, we just put it on boiling, and it beeps once when you kind of have it starting, and then it beeps 3 times when it is at a boil. So helpful info comes from reading the manual. Check. I'm probably gonna regret it. Okay, it's ready. So technically it's not doing anything right now, but as you guys know, you don't have to immediately put heat back onto the water because it stays pretty hot normally, just like without doing anything, because you heated up the kettle, so it won't immediately be going cold after putting it in. So I don't have to do anything at the moment. So I'm just going to pull this off the base. And one thing that I like about a gooseneck is the more precise pouring. You can just kind of... What kind of sound effects am I making at this point? But you can also get a more precise pour, which handy. So here's the color. I'm just gonna do like a real quick Gaiwan session with this. It's hot. But I don't know, this one kind of has a drying effect on your mouth, maybe. Now, I want to save my opinions until I do this with Mama. But so far, I think that this is going to be a lot easier than constantly going into the kitchen every time we need to boil water. Of course, we're still going to have to get water to boil water. But, I mean, first impressions, it's pretty good. We've had this kettle for 1 week now. We have thoroughly used it. We just got finished with a 9 infusion tea session, and this thing got through it all. Man, that tea, I think I could have kept going if this...
It's 1 liter.
Yes, and it's amazing. Gotten a lot easier as we use this thing to pull off the lid, which, you know, that's good. The more we use it, the more we appreciate this gooseneck. Gooseneck is very good. I now see why everyone likes a gooseneck.
Makes the stream a little more specific.
Also with this, and this is something else that I love because we always put our tea on at different angles. Ooh.
It's a merry-go-round.
You can pull it off. Say you put it on right here, you can pull it off and then put it back at a different angle, and it's perfectly fine. Which is very good when we're reaching over and we just want to turn it. It's kind of like, oh, I can't reach it from here, so just turn it and grab it.
So let's go over how the features work. The first thing is it connects when this is on here.
And then you can, when it is on here, this is the base. You can press, and now it isn't on right now, so, you know, it's not going to do anything, but you can press this button, and it'll beep. And then once you finished with that, and if the kettle isn't on within a certain period of time, it'll stop and won't heat up. Also very good. And then once you've done that, you can click this button, and it will start at warming, and you can change the different temperatures. It does have a keep warm function. You can click this button, and it will not keep your tea at, or your water at boiling for extended periods of time, but at warming, it will keep it for half an hour, and at herbal, it will keep it for 10 minutes, which is very useful as well. Now, it's supposed to be stainless steel, but nothing that is stainless steel is stainless, so it has our fingerprints.
It has fingerprints.
But that's fine.
So the way it works, and is not got any water in it right now, you can turn it on, and then you use this other button
Nope.
to
There.
move it to your different settings. But then, because there is no water in it, it'll refuse. It'll say, nope, not going to do it.
And then you can pull it off, and it'll turn it off immediately.
Yeah. And then if you want it to stay warm, you have to press the button once you
Again,
put it back on. Otherwise, this disconnects it and it says, okay, you're done with me. So you have to re-hit the button to get it back on.
Now, it has set temperatures, which at first I was a little annoyed about because I wanted one that had a knob. But the more I do it, the more I am grateful for the not knob. Because warming is 158, green tea is 167, coffee is 185, black tea is 194, herbal is 203, and boiling is 212.
Fahrenheit.
So, yeah.
What we use in America. I can say, oh, I've got black tea, I'll use this one, and I don't really have to know the numbers. I can just go black tea. What you don't have with this is, I want 1 degree more. So if you are serious about wanting the right temperature, you're going to be limited to what this has. But for our uses, we're playing. A lot of tea companies will just say, okay, this is the temperature for all our teas, and a lot of them just say boiling, but do read their recommendations, but you don't have to do what they say. It's your tea. Do it your way.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Yerba Mate has it. I think CBTL has it. This is the Gusty tea. Yeah, this one 205 Fahrenheit or 96 Celsius.
So the closest you have is 203, which is going to be just fine. For somebody like us who's just enjoying the tea, 203, 204, not going to make a difference. And those of you who do care about 1 degree are going to spend a whole lot more money than we did, and that's fine.
We've had this kettle for about a month and a week. One thing that we've found really helpful is the fact that this has a rotating base and a very leak-free top. So
Now, at certain angles, you can still get a leak, but it's nice and tight.
So for today's video, we are going to be making matcha with this and your typical tea. This is the Secret Garden Organic Acai Berry Green Tea.
Yep, so this one's a green tea and matcha's a green tea, so we're going to go ahead and turn this on. The way you turn this on is there's an on button, and then you pick what you want it, and it is actually coffee now, so she's using that second button to get it to green tea.
And that is 167.
And then it beeps to let you know that it is starting. When I've done this, I did some testing, and for the warming, which is 158 degrees, 158 degrees, that took 3 minutes and 14 seconds. And when you got all the way up to boiling, 212 degrees, which is 100 Celsius, that took 5 minutes and 43 seconds. And I'll put something right here so you can see all the numbers in between.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to not be using my typical matcha recipe for this. It's just going to be a very simple 2-ingredient matcha, just matcha powder and a little bit of cream. So I need to go ahead and smoosh out my matcha.
All right, she's gonna smoosh her matcha.
So this is my Honey and Sons matcha. I do keep it chilled, but I also do use it.
This is an exception. You want to keep this one in the refrigerator, matcha, because it is ground, so it loses its taste more quickly than your leafier ones.
So just 1 teaspoon or so of matcha powder. And it comes out in like a very, it's pretty powdery, but it's not that thin, and it can clump pretty easily. So what you want to do is just smoosh it. And we actually have a video dedicated to making matcha, so we won't spend too much time on this, just for time's sake.
Now you hear it heating up there. It's not going to get all the way to boiling because we just have it on the green tea setting, which is
167.
167.
So here I have all of my finely powdered matcha.
She's removed the clumps with her strainer.
It's very helpful and makes for a better tea brew thing. Also, when I'm making it, I add a little bit of cream to make it a little bit thicker.
Because cream makes everything better.
Not everything, but most.
Although matcha is pretty hopeless. Meanwhile, over here, we've got Secret Garden acai berry tea. Now, your matcha tea, that's just green tea. This, smells so purple.
It's actually not green tea. It is green tea leaves. It's the full leaf. It's not just what you would normally have in a tea.
There you go. The acai tea ingredients are organic green tea, natural acai berry flavor.
So I'm making my matcha into a very thick, pasty substance. See example 1. Pour
Okay.
some in here, please.
Okay, how much you want?
I'll tell you when.
Notice the gooseneck kettle gives you very specific
When?
pour there. We're gonna pour me some of this acai berry. And if you had something you wanted to pour over like matcha, this is a typical nice feature to have. With regular old tea, I don't know that it matters that much.
I do like to make my matcha about half and half. It is pretty bitter when you don't make it with any cream. Sugar is optional. I don't normally use sugar. It takes away from the natural taste of your matcha, which, you know, Mama would call it grass.
Delicious.
And then you want to froth it up using an M motion.
So in terms of the teapot, it's very convenient to have it here because we don't have to go to the kitchen to pour our tea back and forth. And because it's not on the stovetop, you don't have to wait for the stovetop to heat up and then for the kettle to get hot. And you also, you have the precise temperatures, so you know it's 167 degrees now, which is very nice.
Yeah, I originally wanted a kettle that you could pick your exact temperature, but that would be very annoying.
Then I looked at those and you have to go beep, 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 all the way to the temperature that you want. And that's a lot of beeping.
Yeah. I would prefer one that had presets that you could, you know, switch up just a little bit. But there is no such common ground.
The nice thing about this is you say, oh, green tea, hit a button, there you go. So it's convenience versus exactness, and I don't think exactness is really necessary.
So I'm just scooping this out like that because this bowl does not pour well. So my matcha is a deep green color. Won't stay like that for long. I'm gonna finish it off with a little bit more cream, make it a little bit of a latte. I like to do that.
That would be better if you whipped it, wouldn't it?
No.
Or if you whipped your cream and had it foamy on top. That'd be extra pretty.
But I don't want it to be pretty. I want it to taste good. We're just going to add in a little bit of cream at the bottom. There we go. A beautiful matcha latte. What do you think, Mama?
Oh, I think it's beautiful. How's it taste?
Like matcha. It's good. So when I made matcha previously, it would always be a little bit annoying because matcha is kind of the same thing as green tea, and I didn't want to make the powder clump too much. And also, just this tastes better. It doesn't taste quite as weird. Because I found that some stovetop kettles have stuff and it makes it taste funky.
What, like the bottom of the kettle?
And it makes the water taste funky.
I think with specifically picking the green tea temperature, you get probably a nicer brew than if you just like going for this many, the eyes are this big, so it's that kind of temperature. It's probably better if you have something that's measuring the temperature. So this that I'm drinking is the acai tea. Notice the pretty light color of the green tea. And then you got the smell of berries. It's nice and mildly sweet. Now the packaging for the Cusimax is this box.
So you actually saw this box at the beginning of this video when we unboxed the box. Multiple boxes there were. So, you know.
And so if you open this, you can see they give you a free thing. We did not go about doing that, but you scan the QR code and they will send you, we didn't happen to need any of those. But I think that would probably get you on their mailing list so they can give you other offers. And then it came with an instruction booklet that is written in English, so you can get the idea of what to do with it. It's got how to do that. Now, one thing we have not mentioned yet is that this will keep it warm if you don't pick it up. So you brew it to the temperature you want, and if it's the lower temperatures, it'll keep it there for 30 minutes. And if it's the higher temperatures but not boiling, it'll keep it there for 10 minutes. But once you pick it up, you've broken that, and then you'd have to hit the on button again, and it would immediately go back to the temperature that you just did. So that's what you could do if you want to brew it and then come back for it. Oh, and back to the min and max, if you fill it below the minimum line, it will not activate because it doesn't want to boil dry. So when it gets to a certain level, it will not heat because you don't want your kettle to boil dry.
Also, at max, it will rise up. It will still do it, but it will be a little bit longer of a period, and it might not get quite as hot.
You really want to do it with 1 liter of tea. 1 liter is 16.9 ounces. You've seen a 1 liter bottle of water. That's how much you got here. About 2 cups. So this one reminds me a little bit of the taste of mulberries. I'm going to put some cream in it. See what berries and cream is like.
Yeah, I think the first time I had this, I actually paired it with what? Strawberry tarts?
Mmm.
It was very good.
Cream sweetens it. It's very nice. So would we buy this again? Yes, we would. We liked it. Recommend it to others?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. All right. Get you one. It's good. And come back and see us again. Make time for tea and a good book.